by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing session of the Daily African Proverbs. I am in Seattle, Washington, but I'm from Kisumu, Kenya originally, right by Lake Victoria. And today we are taking a virtual journey to Angola. We are discussing an Angolan proverb that I feel is quite amazing. And it says that the crocodile is only strong in the water. The crocodile is only strong in the water. Let me know what this means to you if you are joining me here on Clubhouse. Think about what this proverb means to you. Share with your community the link to this conversation. Share it on Clubhouse and also outside of Clubhouse. I am live streaming right now on YouTube, and I'm going to add the link to the live stream in just a second on top of the Clubhouse room. And I love doing this Monday to Friday Daily African Proverbs show because for me it's a sacred space where we gain African wisdom by dissecting African proverbs, together with a community of people from around the world, where we go deeper. We don't just look at these proverbs from a face value. We go a little deeper and we learn a little more about these proverbs. And today I would have been live streaming on YouTube together with my brother from Ghana, 100%, who is an amazing poet and author. But the connection there does not allow him to be here with us on YouTube. So he is on Clubhouse and he will be able to stay with us as much as he can. And if the internet allows, he might join us on YouTube. But I'm just grateful. And the proverb that we are discussing today says that the crocodile is only strong in the water. And when I look at this proverb myself, it reminds me literally of living by Lake Victoria and having to contend with the possibility of meeting the crocodile face to face whenever you've gone to take a shower, whenever you've gone to drink, to fetch drinking water, whenever you've gone to play. The lake was also one of the places where when we left school and we didn't want to go home straight away, we would go to the lake. But then we also knew stories of people that had been apprehended by the crocodile. Some of them survived, many did not survive. But this proverb is telling us that the crocodile is probably just powerful inside the water, but outside the water it's a matter of discussion. Is it really powerful? I personally think the crocodile is still powerful in water, and the same mentality that you probably had in the water, if you encountered the crocodile in the water, is probably the same mentality you'd use to survive when you meet the crocodile face to face on land. Because I feel that an animal is an animal, and the thing with this proverb also is that the crocodile in this case represents a challenge in your life. It's not necessarily the crocodile in real life, the way I was sharing examples of my own life experiences, but also the water is the context where you're being faced with the challenge in your life. Maybe you're seeking a job opportunity. The crocodile in that case is the job opportunity. And maybe you're looking for a job opportunity in a place, say like Seattle, where if you don't have a master's degree, getting a meaningful job is probably, a dream. It's unless you know people, you can't get a meaningful job in a place like Seattle because everybody, majority of people who are looking for the same job you're looking for probably have a master's degree. So then you know, the crocodile in that case could be the, you know, the job you're looking for, the challenge you're facing, and the water could be Seattle, Washington in that case. So maybe if you went and faced that crocodile somewhere else, you would probably beat it up, you know. So that's what came to my mind, and I want to invite my brother 100%. 100, could you just say something? I want to make sure we can hear you before I ask you to respond to a couple of questions here.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope my voice is loud and clear. I have a bit of bad network, but I hope this little salutation gives you I've passed the test in terms of clarity.
Yes, you passed the test. I just want to ask you to get closer to the mic and pump it up a little bit. First,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, my brother. So first, just to introduce 100%, we connected during Africa Day last year. He was one of the organizers of the poetry segment of the Africa Day celebration that took place on Clubhouse, and we have some conversations that, you know, that spilled over to YouTube as well. So 100 is a gifted poet and an author from Ghana. And 100, I would love for you to share with us your perspective on today's proverb. The proverb says, "The crocodile is only strong in the water." This proverb is from Angola. Share with us what this proverb means to you.
Thank you, Simon. So I looked at it and I was like, the crocodile is only strong in the water. I see two perspectives here. Number one, that we need to know ourselves. When
Yeah, this is Simon speaking. My brother 100, your network is troubling. Yeah, keep going.
I was looking at, like, the crocodile is strong in the water because if you're trying to outswim, but on land, like that, I will beat the crocodile.
100, my brother, this is Simon. We 100, this is Simon. Can you hear me?
It spoke to me about my strengths and me knowing what
100, this is Simon. I'm just going to mute you for a moment because I can't hear you at all. This is Simon speaking. I just want to check in with everybody who is joining us for today's conversation. My guest is 100%, but he's in Ghana and he just lost his electricity, so he has internet issues. He has no access to the internet. So we are just trying to pull this off without the internet, which is a major challenge. So 100, just stay with us. I will come back to you, in a couple of minutes, so that we can get your perspectives and hopefully, listen to you read a couple of excerpts from your book as well. And if it doesn't work out today, we will have you as our guest in the coming weeks as well. So if you're joining us here for the Daily African Proverbs, this is a Monday to Friday session that we've been hosting since January. We come here, we gather, we dissect one African proverb every week with the hopes that by the end of our conversation, every single session, we gain African wisdom that we take away with us. So today we are taking a virtual journey to Angola, and the proverb says the crocodile is only strong in the water. And so I want to listen to what Bibi has to say about this proverb. And before I do that, I want to encourage everyone in the room on Clubhouse to ping in 3 to 5 people, and also share this conversation, clip it, so that we can spread the word at these beginning stages of our conversation today. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're sharing the live stream with members of your community, and also leave your comment. Leave your comment letting us know what this proverb means to you. And finally, please make sure you also press the thumbs up button so that YouTube notifies you next time we are live streaming for the Daily African Proverbs. Bibi, share with us your perspectives, please.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, and my interpretation is actually close to yours. It's similar to yours, and except this time I'll just twist it around as in terms of maybe if the crocodile strengthens its weight in itself on the land, it will be just as strong as it is in the water, because as long as you can breathe and move on land, you're able, just like where there's a will, there's a way. So that's my interpretation. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I agree. Where there's a will, there's a way. And then when we talk about crocodiles being strong in water, it just reminds me of the geckos, the alligators, not geckos, alligators in Florida that are huge, and they're much like crocodiles, but they walk on land. And even if we go back to Lake Victoria, where I grew up, we have night runners. Night runners are people who they have extraordinary powers. They can even tame crocodiles just using their words and charms that they've learned through their heritage. And so I've seen people that they live with a crocodile, and the crocodile is so far away from the lake. You wonder how it got there and when it got there, and it just comes to these people's compound to eat, then it goes back to the water. So it's quite interesting if you take this proverb and think about it from the perspective of someone who has interacted with crocodiles in real life like that, in real life in Africa like that. Anyhow, Bibi, thank you again. Alexis, share with us your perspective on today's proverb from Angola.
Yes, habari za asubuhi.
Salama
Hello,
kabisa.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. So, my perspective today on the proverb, actually, the thing that I immediately thought of was metaphorically, I just thought of um, the crocodile as being you and the water as being the mind. When a person is in their right mind, that is when they're able to function at their best, right? And if a person is out of their mind, which means out of that water, are they functioning at their best? Crocodiles swim much faster than they can walk. That's why they say that they're better in water, because crocodiles walk very, very slow. So they can run, but you don't see crocodiles just running around quickly on land or anything like that. They can run, but it's not for a long period of time. They're not catching nothing outside that water. The best chance they have of catching their prey is when they're in that water. The same with us. If we're the crocodile and we're in the water and within our right mind and doing things and going for our purpose the right way that we should be going into, that's when you stand the best chance of catching your prey. Your prey is success. Your prey is whatever you have for your life, whatever you want for you, because crocodiles catch whatever prey they want. Whatever prey that they see that they can get is what they catch. And that's what we're out here catching. Whatever prey that we see that we want, we can get it, as long as you stay in the water. I'm Lexi. I'm going to land my plane there.
Thank you, Lexi. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I love listening to the different perspectives that you can only understand if you're part of this tiny community. From across the world, there are probably some people that also have access to this same proverb, but the only privilege we have in this room and in the daily African Proverbs community is that we can listen to other people process it and share its meaning right there with us. So thank you, Lexi. Zizi, how are you doing? Share with us your perspective on today's proverb from Angola.
Thank you very much, Simon. It's nice to be with you. And my perspective is, don't be afraid of things that, like, let's say you are attacked by a crocodile in the water. If you're on land, you don't need to be scared of the crocodile because it can only be strong in the water. So know who your enemies and friends are and see where they are strong and where they are weak. And keep your fears only to the reality, not your own imagination or your own perception, which could be wrong.
I love that. Thank you, Zizi. Zizi is an elder that I love and appreciate, and whenever I hear your words of wisdom, I always just bask in it. And to everyone who is probably joining us for the first time here for the Daily African Proverbs, this is a sacred space where we dissect these proverbs, and we also remember that these proverbs were once discussed by our ancestors. So we are carrying on the work by being here right now. So there's something that is much more deeper than just an African proverb, and it's the work beneath this proverb that I just wanted to remind you of. And I also want to encourage you to ping in 3 to 5 people if you're on Clubhouse, if you're on YouTube. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, and also type what your meaning of this proverb is in the comments, and then share this live stream with your community members. And finally, remember to push the thumbs up button so that YouTube notifies you next time we are having this conversation. Now we are at Oracle, I hope you are doing great as well. Share with us your perspectives on today's proverb from Angola.
Thank you. Peace to you. Peace to the room. Grand rising, wholeness and abundance to everyone in this space, to everyone on YouTube. The African proverb, the crocodile is only strong in the water, to me means that we must know our element. There are many times that many of us go into places and spaces that are not our element. They're not natural to us, and they certainly don't lend to our strength. And so we're encouraged by this proverb, I believe, to be in those places and spaces that support us, those places and those spaces that support not only our survival, but our thriving. Because the crocodile not only has buoyancy in the water, everything that he requires comes to him in the water. His food comes to him in the water. And I believe when we are living our best life in our best expression in our element, all that is required comes to us. And with that, I yield my mic. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
You're most welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your continued support. I just want to quickly give a shout out to AC for joining us. AC, I hope you're doing well, my brother. And I see Kesiwa and Tommy Waziri. Thank you for being here, my brother. I hope you're doing well. And also, I see Willem and Sewell, and I see Son of Manga and MK. Thank you all for being here with us for today's session. Let's continue listening. I see that Nina Boss is here with us as well. Share with us your perspective on this Angolan proverb. Thank you very much, Nina.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Lexi, for pinging me into this room. I think this is wonderful to have a space like this. I did just come in and I didn't hear the proverb, but just getting the understanding of everyone else's comments when we're talking about I believe it's the alligator and it comes out of the water. So I take that as sometimes we have these preconceptions of what things may be until we actually face them. And some things we don't have to be afraid of. When things, as you say, are out of their element, therefore they cannot work at full capacity. So when someone's trying to do something to you, sometimes we already have our armor on. Sometimes we already got the things that we need to be protected. Sometimes we already are headed in the right direction. Sometimes we just need something to push us to go further. And so when I hear you guys speak, it kind of just makes me think of fight this fight. Go after what you want because it's already yours. You just have to claim it. No matter what's behind you, reaching and coming for you, you keep moving forward. You keep looking forward. You keep going to where you need to go. And I'll land my plane right there.
Wow, thank you, Nina. I appreciate that. Yes, no matter what's against you, keep moving forward, keep making those small steps because, little by little, you end up winning a big battle that you didn't even know that you could win. I remember growing up, we had incidences where, as kids, we would go swimming and a crocodile would try to, take off with a goat or even one of us. And people would fight the crocodile without weapons, and somehow the crocodile would give up. Just the fighting spirit that it would see that these people are not going to let me take this goat away. It runs away. So if you're persistent and you're determined, even if you feel powerless, you end up getting what you want, and that has been a theme of today's conversation here. Let's listen to Dr. Wanda and see what she has to say. And by the way, if you're looking to read the proverb before you share, there are a couple of ways you can do that. One is it's right at the top of the room here on Clubhouse. And two, it's also my latest Instagram post. So you can, tap my profile and go to Instagram. You can check it out there. In case you can't come on stage, you can also engage with this proverb over there. And just to let you all know, my special guest today is 100%, who is an incredible poet, an author based in Ghana. He was supposed to be sharing with us a lot more today. In fact, he would have been with me on YouTube, but he lost electricity like 5 minutes before we went live. And so he's here, but his connection is not very good. We will try and have him share, an excerpt of his book before we end the room if his connection is good. But now we are going to listen to Dr. Wanda.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This proverb, the first thing I thought of was actually two other proverbs. The crocodile is only strong in the water. And I thought of this proverb, I'm not certain of its origin, but it says, if you judge a fish's intelligence by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life thinking that it's stupid. And this proverb just kind of reminds me, like actually to echo what was already said about being in one's element and, and how a lot of times, especially like if you're on Clubhouse, there seems to be like a million people trying to be success gurus and the 12 steps. And if you just pay them some money, they will tell you how to be successful in this business, successful in that business. And you could spend all day chasing people to find out their secret. But what I've learned very recently, well, relearned, is that the part of success, just as what was just said by Nina Boss, is already within me. It's already within you because you have to be in your element. And then the other proverb that this one reminded me of is, if you have to keep explaining yourself to people, those are not your people. And it just goes right back, to this proverb. We got to the crocodile is only strong in the water. And I think of it maybe as myself being a crocodile, meaning that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, but I need to play to my strengths. instead of trying to strengthen my weakness, which might be somebody else's element. And I'm complete.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. I loved when you used the example of, seeking knowledge on Clubhouse and following somebody in order for you to get richer or get wiser or be knowledgeable in a specific field. And also, I loved how you shared that also, if you have to explain yourself all the time, then those are probably not your people. Very true, very true. My brother Joseph Kafunda, how are you doing today, and what are your perspectives on today's proverb?
Thank you, Simon. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Simon, it's very hot in Namibia currently. We normally don't take these things serious about global warming, but we can be able to realize that things are not the same as we used to know about them maybe 5-10 years back. It's the country's just been very, very hot for the past couple of days. But at the same time, blessing on the sky because we have received good rains. Although we live in a semi-desertic country, so the rain has been blessed, and we have one of our yearly flourishing, what we call the desert lilies. They just flourish this Saturday, and they're gonna continue until Thursday. So it's one of the most amazing opportunity for those who like to come and witness Namibia under the flowers. So this is the time, this is the period. Most of the rivers are running. So we are blessed, although we complain about global warming, but we are trying to educate as much as we can about certain things. Just coming back to today's daily African proverbs. Simon, each day when we come here and we try to scrutinize each and every proverbs that we share each and every day of the week, for me, it starts to speak about riddles. Our parents never told us the straightforward answer or questions that they will pose, but they always intend to say it in a way of a poem, in a way of a riddles, or in a way of proverbs. And these proverbs is just telling you that when you are doing something for yourself, stick to what you know best and stick to what you do best. Because a crocodile, if it's moved out of a river, like everybody have said, it will not catch or it will not have its food or daily food. And this brought me to a very, very historical period that I always speak to my clients about the hippo. If the hippo doesn't go out of the water, it will not be able to have its grass or it will not be able to eat. So the hippo is the same as a crocodile. The crocodile has to stay in the water while the hippo has to stay outside. But the two have to cohabit. That is the strength that each and every animals have. So the crocodile in these terms around, it's more stronger. It can run faster only when it knows it's in its own comfort zone. Same as human being. When you attack me in my house, I'm more stronger than when I'm outside my yard or I'm outside my house. So the lesson here is let's stick to what we know best and let's do what we know best to our level that each and everyone will be able to appreciate. I'm done speaking. My name is Joseph Kafunda.
Thank you so much, Joseph Kafunda. I am grateful, for all your support. And I can't wait to have the conversation with you tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. PST in the One Vibe Africa Club around travel. Joseph and I host a session where we talk about some of the hidden travel destinations and gems in Africa. So follow him so that you can learn more about that weekly session as well. Right now we are in the daily African proverbs, and typically at 6:30 a.m. we turn off hand raising, and I'm going to do that in about 5 minutes so that I can give a few more people a chance to join us on stage. Feel free to come on stage in the next 5 minutes. After that, I'm going to turn off hand raising so that we just focus on the people who are on stage and also on our special guest. Before we continue, first actually I want to pass the mic to Tommy so that Tommy can share with us how he is doing and also how what this proverb from Angola means to you. Tommy, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Simon. It's been a while. I mean, I've been busy on one or two projects. So yes, projects towards humanity. My nonprofit is trying to raise a food bank dedicated to persons with disabilities. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about my project. I love this proverb. Why? Because it reminds me of when I was a sighted person. Now that I'm a blind person, I can't see the big five. You know, I'm a lover of Nat Geo Wild. The channel, for those of us who know the channel, National Geographic Wild. And Simon, just I want to ask, is the crocodile part of the big five?
The crocodile is not part of the big five, but it's probably part of the big five in the waters.
Oh, yes, yes. So it's one of the most iconic animals in Africa. It's a beautiful animal. I think I know a little about it. Let me just say that it just means that you should stay in your comfort zone, where you're comfortable, where you are secured, where you know that you can, stand the test of time, where you know that it's way comfortable for you to earn, because it's in the water that the crocodile catches its prey. It's such a beautiful animal. I'm just going to talk about the biological aspect of it. That's why I said, to me, it means that you should be in your comfort zone. You should leverage on your comfort zone, and through your comfort zone, you're able to execute properly. The crocodile comes out to the sun to bask. They don't regulate their temperature. They are cold-blooded, so they have to come out sometimes, and those times they are most vulnerable. So when you're out of your comfort zone, you're most vulnerable. I remember watching one of those documentaries when one of it was out. It was trying to feed on a prey that was outside, that a carcass that was out. I think it was a hippo carcass. And you could see some lions coming to mock them, the lions coming to mock them and attack them. They run. They can't eat properly on land. But these guys, when they're in water, my God, if you guys see that documentary, the way they tear animal into pieces. And you see, one thing I learned about the crocodile in the water is that they are able to effectively tear up their prey in the water. Together, they twist and turn. For those of us who love documentaries, they twist and turn and they have teamwork. So let me say this: roll with the ones that are mindset that have the same mindset with you. Roll with the ones that you guys can grow together in your comfort zone, where you guys know that you are most, strong, in your comfort zone. You can also have people that, are in your, channel, your comfort zone. And with that, you're able to execute, effectively. Maybe, for example, your career, you can learn from people that are also in that field, your business, you can learn from people who are in that field as well. That's what the crocodile does. It doesn't really effectively eat on land, but in water. My God, you guys need to see that if you have not seen that. They will devour a buffalo in minutes, but they do that together. But it can't be done on land. So they have teamwork, as well, despite the fact that most times they hunt alone. Once one catches the prey, they all feed on the prey as long as the prey is a big animal, So it's just basically being in your comfort zone. A crocodile will be underwater waiting for prey and hold its breath for a long time. I mean, it's such a beautiful animal, and I think this conversation is worthy of note. We have a lot to learn from the crocodile if you can actually Google this animal and read more out of from it. It's actually a beautiful. So for me, I'll just say it's the comfort zone, not just alone, but comfort zone with friends as well, and effective properly, and execute way more than when you are alone in your comfort zone. So yeah, I would yield my mic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother Tommy. I truly appreciate you being here with us today. And I hope I can connect with you and hopefully host you as a guest as well on this platform, so that we can learn more about what you've been up to and the progress you've made with your nonprofit. So let me know in the back
Simon,
channel.
I will appreciate that. Like, I need all the awareness we can get here in Nigeria. There's not much support from the government for persons with disabilities. So if we can be here for our brothers and sisters, what actually inspired this, let me just quickly say this, that what actually inspired this is, I remember having a conversation with a blind man when I became blind. I became blind 3 years ago, September 2019. And I remember having a conversation with this man, and it was kind of a long conversation. Before we ended the call, the man asked me if I have food to spare. And I was like, no, the one I have is just reserved for myself, my wife, and my son. And before I knew it, this man started to cry. And I felt so bad. You know, he started wailing, I don't have food for my loved ones. I can't provide for my family. And you see, food is the basic need for every human being. So, I had the idea of setting up a food bank specifically for persons with disabilities. There's nothing like that here in my country. If I can be the first person to do that, I think I would just leave a mark in the life of these people. So, if anybody even wants to get the link for the GoFundMe, it's linked to that's my Instagram. My Instagram is in my bio. You can get to the GoFundMe link there. And Mr. Simon, I will really appreciate it, so that we can create more awareness for this and put food on the tables of persons with disabilities here in Nigeria, and also the needy who really, really need them. I really don't want to go into some emotional stories. I will just stop that here. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon.
Thank you, Tommy. I'll reach out to you, then we'll plan and make something happen. Let's hear from Kyle and Sensas and Mala, and then now my brother 100% is with me on YouTube, so we'll get into the interview portion once we hear from you, Kyle, Sensas, and Mala. So Kyle, share with us your perspective on today's proverb from Angola. The proverb says, "The crocodile is only strong in the water." Thank you so much.
I love this room and I love the people in this room very much. It's very refreshing. And I really enjoyed what everyone said. The only thing that I could ever add to what was said is to be the true self, and not try to be something that we're not. Getting out of the comfort zone can provide growth. There's probably a reason why the crocodile will come out of the water from time to time. But like it was said, the most food that it's going to eat is in the water, because it's powerful in the water. And the most powerful that we could ever be is when we're truly being ourselves. We're not trying to be what society tells us to be, not trying to be what we see other people trying to be. Everyone's wearing a mask and carrying a label, and to just chill out in the water, to chill with oneself and be true to oneself, and to fully embrace that and love through authenticity, rather than fake loving, fake kindness, fake success, and fake every striving. And it's just that's what comes to my mind, is just to be true to oneself and not try to be something that we're not. And for some reason that came to my mind, but I couldn't really add much to what everyone else said. But thank you so much for pinging me into this room. It really added to my experience of the day. And thank you so much, everyone, for all of the wise words that I just heard.
You're welcome, Kyle. Thank you so much for your contribution. Sensors, how are you doing? And what are your perspectives on today's proverb? Thank you so much.
Hi, Simon, and hi, 100. Good morning to everyone. Great to be in good company. The crocodile is only strong in the water. Tommy, I was listening to you talking and I was like, oh crap, he sure is a National Geo fan. So yes, I am also in that field and I have watched the crocodile live in action. And I think um, my interpretation of the proverb is simply um, be where you're appreciated. You flourish where you're appreciated. You know, another part that I would put to it is your your roots, your identity is as strong as the soil you come from, right? So that which enriches you, embraces you, and allows you to grow. And that is perhaps my interpretation. And Simon, I wonder if you have informed the team about the start of the language conference
I haven't.
on the
Please,
Africa Day Club.
yeah, go ahead and share, please.
Okay, so today on the Africa Day Club, we will be um, launching the Africa language series. This is the first time we're having it on Clubhouse, and it is basically um, part of a global conference that's going on regarding languages. Regarding languages, today it's related to amplifying the continent's voice, and the opening session will start at 10 a.m., which is in the next 2 hours. Please join the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sensas, for all that you do. And let's hear from Mala.
Great day, family. Hello, Simon and 100% and everyone on the stage. So grateful to be here with you today. I will keep it brief. For me, it's understanding oneself and also, being a student of your environment and watching and observing that around you. So depending on your proximity, what you could be the crocodile, right? So your awareness that I thrive in certain environments, or the crocodile could be a threat. So am I going to run or swim in water if I'm trying to avert the crocodile, or would I have more success on land, right? And so I just think it is important for us to, all things change, and depending on our location, can change the narrative that we create around things. And that really, when we come from a place of understanding ourselves, that grace and that desire to know more, and we bring that to other people, we can truly determine what is what. Because one day something could be your medicine, the next day it could be your poison. And I think, our own awareness can help for our health, our safety, and our harmony in the environments that we're in. This is Marla, and I'll return to listening.
Thank you so much, Mal. I'm grateful to you, and I'm also grateful to all the contributors who are with us on stage and also who are with us in the audience on Clubhouse. I encourage you to ping in 3 to 5 people to join us as we are heading towards the end of our conversation. But also, this is the most exciting part of today's conversation, because typically we interview our guest at the beginning of the Daily African Proverbs, but because of network connection challenges, we are now having an amazing segment of this conversation at the end. And I want to invite my brother Hondred, share with us your perspective on this proverb and also your comments on everything you've heard so far.
Well, thank you so much, Simon, and applause to everyone who has shared. I've definitely learned a lot coming in here, particularly the last speaker who said be a student of your environment. So I jumped in to the proverb looking at it from a strength perspective, understanding what your strengths are and understanding what your weaknesses are. And I ended up realizing that, as some many have said, that the crocodile in water can move very fast. But the dangerous thing about a crocodile is its bite. Whether it's in water, whether it's on land, look, if that crocodile gets you, it doesn't matter your environment, it will chew you out. but the difference is in its movement. On land, it is slower. On what in water, it is faster. Now, no matter how much training I get as a human being, it is almost impossible for me to move at the pace of a crocodile. The same way, no matter how well trained you train a crocodile is unlikely to beat a runner on land. So for me, this proverb speaks to me understanding myself, understanding where are my strengths. There's this popular image of, and I think this happens with for education purposes, because within our academic institutions, sometimes everybody's put on the same level. We seem to forget that people have different strengths and different weaknesses. So it's more of you've got different animals and you're saying, okay, all of you climb the tree. It's like, come on, the monkey is going to beat, it's going to beat everybody. Meanwhile, not everybody is a monkey, but because not everybody's a monkey, the rest of you are dumb, you're stupid, but that's not the case. It's just that people play to different strengths. So the learning point for me is understand who you are, be a student of your environment, as the last speaker said. And when you understand these things, you would go to where you can play to your strengths. And in that area, you find your blessing.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. 100%. I want you to take us a little further beyond today's proverb and share with us a story from your childhood that inspires you today as a leader, as a father, as a poet, as an author. Yesterday we were talking and you mentioned that you've been to Kenya a few times because of poetry. Share with us a story from your childhood that reminds you of the journey that you're now traveling as an artist.
One of the stories that I hold dearly in my mind was a conflict that I had with my younger brother. So we were coming back from school and we were privileged enough to have someone pick us up from school and take us home. But I had a very bad day at school and I really didn't want to be disturbed. But my younger brother, who is just 1 year younger than me, clearly he was bigger than me in terms of size because he was just big. He just kept nagging at me, worrying me, teasing me. You know how boys are. And I had it. I was really frustrated, really pissed off, but I couldn't do anything because I was stuck in a car. So because I was also dealing with issues of I'm the older brother, but as the older brother, you're not giving me my respect. We parked at my dad's office. The driver had to go and deal with something. So when we parked, I was tired, so I just shouted at him that, what, stop worrying me. If you don't stop worrying me, I am going to take your school bag and I'm going to throw it outside. I thought I had given the best threat ever. And my brother pretty much dared me. I was like, go ahead, you can't do it. You're a sissy. He said everything that would just push my buttons for me to do it. And at this point, I had been called, he had called me out. So I just took the bag and threw it outside. I closed the door and I felt, yeah, I'm the man. And he didn't say anything. And later on, the driver came, the car, ended up moving on. Like 10 minutes afterwards, he looks at me and says, well, when we get home and mommy asks me what happened to my school bag, I'll just say, I don't know what happened, but my dear brother over here just got up and decided to take my bag and throw it outside. And I was living. I felt so stupid. You get me? I felt so stupid. I immediately told the driver, his name is Mr. Aqua. I was like, Mr. Aqua. He was like, why did you do that? I was like, I don't know why. Can we please just go back so that I can find the bag? We get back, the bag is nowhere to be found. And I'm now frantically looking for this bag. Apparently, one of my dad's co-workers had seen the whole thing, taken the bag, gone to report to my dad. I ended up getting in so much trouble
with my dad and my mom. And I remember that story so much because on that day, I understood what it meant to be patient. And there's nothing anybody can do to me today that will push me. It's like, to me, I'm like, it's just not worth it. Because looking at the trouble that I experienced then with my brother, I was like, I'm not going to put myself in this situation where I'm going to allow my ego, I'm going to allow anybody to push me around to do what. So, and coming back to the proverb, it actually goes with it because this, my brother was wanting me to swim on land. And I forgot about it and I went out of the water and I started being on land. I should have just stayed. And so nowadays, I basically just stay in the water and nothing moving. And it has helped me a lot being very patient.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love stories. I love stories, and I could picture everything as you are sharing, and all the trouble. You know, growing up in Africa, spanking was a part of the norm. You know, so so I
Oh
imagine
boy.
you got a bit of spanking that day.
It was bad, but
Nice, nice. Now you recently, launched a book, and I wonder if you have it, and if you want to read your favorite excerpt from it, and after that, share with our viewers and our listeners how they can get a copy of it and how they can support the amazing work that you're doing. Do you have a
okay.
favorite part you want to share?
There are many favorites. I've just picked one. I tried to pick one that sort of relates to the Proverbs. So I'll be reading a poem titled Our Gutters. I think gutters are things that we all come across in our lives at some point. So I'll read that out and I'll then share as to how one can get the book. So
I have
here's
a
the
favor
poem.
to ask, 100.
Yes,
Let's get you out of Clubhouse so that the audio is clearer. Currently,
sure.
there's an echo in the background,
I
and I want
understand.
this poem to be as clean as possible. Perfect.
Is
Carry
this
on.
better? I've exited.
It's perfect.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Great. So here's the poem Our Gutters. Our gutters are tunnels of revelation, rabbit holes like that of Alice in Wonderland, but with a foul smell. Green juice, urine, and plastic. Down here, we collect rain and piss. We wish. They possess the disappearing ability of recycle bins on our computers, but often we miss. When we throw garbage into them, practicing a free throw at a basketball game, it's a crying shame. Our gutters are death traps with their own personal problems. Like the economy, they are convoluted. Their purpose has been dissected and repurposed illegally to act both as a sewer and a landfill. Our gutters want poodles and chihuahuas as pets, not rats and mice. They are sick of cockroaches and mosquitoes and are tired of taking shit. Our gutters are millennials, tired of giving birth to more gutters, for them to be enslaved and abused. They are tired of being premature adoption centers for aborted children and fetuses in bloom. They are tired of being left out of the smoking chain, receiving leftover smoked out cigarette butts and not the full thing. Our gutters want money and not rubbish thrown into them. They too want to live a life of luxury. They want clean water to flow through, a bit of light, electricity, and air conditioners. On occasion, a vehicle is given to a gutter during a flood. This is really a coffin and not something the gutter can use, as a dead driver and passengers are usually occupying the machines. Our gutters are mirrors into our lifestyle, a dark, cold truth, shady dealing. Lies are converted into truth down here. The owners seldom come for them. Down here, the gutter is a weird strip club customer, disgusted and excited about viewing vaginas and penises by willing parties willing to free themselves from piss. Our gutters are drug addicts, indulging in coke, heroin, antibiotics, and anything one can sniff. It, however, does little to numb the pain they feel. They harbor condoms and sperm, yet can't protect themselves from diseases or give birth to children unless an egg is provided. Our gutters are jumped over and crossed, neglected, afflicted, and considered unimportant, like snot, just like the human treating life. Our gutters are a disgusting reflection of us. No matter the effort we use to clean it, it will forever remain revolting and unaccepted. Precious water bodies are being converted into a religion of gutters, and we don't seem to care. There are many disciples flowing in repugnance and promising freedom at a fair. How did the river become the gutter and the alley? How did the pond become choked with plastic? How did the stream lose its magic? What a body called human. I ask you these questions. Why aren't you chasing waterfalls? Why are you chasing rejected waste and keeping yourself beneath the sun? Why are you choosing to be a gutter and not the oasis? Why are you not choosing greatness, settling for the filtered waste of the world? Why? And here we wait for the answer. But it is prevented from passing through. It has been blocked in a gutter by things that were once answers too. Answers tired of being mistreated. Answers tired of being used. Answers tired of being repeated to the question, who are you? Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. This is an amazing piece that you shared with us today. It leaves me with more questions than answers. But I want our listeners and our viewers to get a copy of your book. So share with everyone where they can get it, and also if there's any other way they can support you and how they can stay in touch with you.
Okay, so the book is available on Amazon for those who are outside of Ghana, since that's where I am based. So if you go to Amazon, I think if you go to my profile on Clubhouse, I'll probably join again so that people can see me there. The spelling here is going to be a bit difficult to see, but that is a logoligi locomotion, and if you can find that on Amazon, you definitely see me. Follow me. Just use my name, 100%, 100 spelled with an O, not a U, together. And you find me on Instagram. You find me on Facebook, Twitter, and also on my website. And if you want to support me, just DM me. Part of the proceeds of the book go towards helping mothers and children in NICU, because my first son was born premature. So ever since then, I've been looking for a way to support mothers and children in that space. And so far, we've been able to do so with some of the proceeds of the sales of the book. So I'll be looking at more ways and continuing that journey or adventure to helping and giving back.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Come back on Clubhouse because we are almost wrapping up. So join us back there. And to everybody who has been listening, please connect with 100, support what he's doing, and follow the African Father in America Club here on Clubhouse, so that when we have these conversations, you are amongst the first people to know. And then if you are watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to the channel, leave your comment so that we know what today's proverb from Angola means to you. The proverb says the crocodile is only strong in the water. And then push the thumbs up button. I would love for YouTube to let you know when we live stream next time. With that, I just want to express my gratitude to each one of you on stage and each one of you in the audience. I'm truly grateful, and we will be seeing you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow I also host another amazing poet that I will actually be hosting every Wednesday, and her name is Chioma Sheri. She basically takes these proverbs and turns them into a poem. So if you want to enjoy that, join us tomorrow, same time, same place, same community. Andre, thank you again for your time. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington.